Hello and welcome to Marsh Attacks with me, James Marsh. This is a new channel. It's an offshoot of the deep dive channel I do with Steve Hackman. This is just an opportunity for me to talk to you and give you concise, potted, and hopefully useful reviews of films I've seen releasing generally here in Hong Kong, where I am based. Another World is a new Hong Kong animated feature film from first-time filmmaker Tommy Ng Kai Chung. It's adapted from a Japanese novel from 2012 called Senenki, The Thousand-Year Journey of an Oni by Naka Saijo, which tells the story of a young spirit guide called Gudo, who is tasked to escort a recently deceased young girl called Yuri across the spirit realm towards her reincarnation. That realm is known as another world and is a visually stunning environment. Along the way, he comes to learn that she is wrestling with rage and anger and grief that she cannot quite articulate or certainly can't contain, and that is a real problem for existence as we know it. It's for making everything incredibly sort of unstable. She is looking for her little brother. And over the course of the film, we learn who her brother is and what happened to them and what have you. Over the course of the film, you also see sort of other tasks that young Gudo is assigned during his tenure as a spirit guide, and you begin to understand the relevance of these other characters and of their journeys and how this fits into Yuri's struggle to not only accept her own death and find a path to reincarnation, but also find out the truth about what happened to her little brother, and essentially, keep all of existence at ease. 2025 has been sort of a banner year, really, for Chinese animation. I mean, we normally look in the region to Japan predominantly for this kind of movie, but Neza 2 has been a behemoth at the box office, particularly in China, of course, where it has made close to $2 billion. It is far and away the most successful movie at the box office this year. This is a Hong Kong animated movie. Now, that is a very, very rare thing indeed. I mean, in recent memory, only the McDull movies really spring to mind, and those are incredibly local. This movie has a real opportunity to travel. It's visually incredibly stylish. The characters are very vivid. There's a clear influence of the films of Hayao Miyazaki, for one, in this blend of sort of the spiritual and the fantastical, with the journey of sort of younger characters. It is an impressive piece of work, but there is one very strong caveat here, and that's that the lack of any sort of clear defining Chinese, let alone Hong Kong characteristics in the story itself. As I mentioned, the influences all seem to come from Japan, particularly the works of Miyazaki and Studio Ghibli. This is it's kind of a worry, really, because if this film does well, then the chances of it being dubbed into English and other languages are probably very high. And then the only real feature of the movie, which is its Cantonese voice cast, will disappear. And there is very little happening on screen to acknowledge the fact that this is not a Japanese movie at all. To the fact that I'm quite surprised that it's being backed and financed and championed by the local industry quite as much as it is. And you would have thought that perhaps earlier on in the process they might have said, this is all good and well, and I understand that this is being adapted from a Japanese source material, but can we please just localize it just a little bit, just give it a little flourish, so a little sort of Chinese sensibility, a little Hong Kong something in there, so that audiences know that this isn't just another Japanese anime film. I mean, people will say, well, the source material is Japanese. It's like, well, yeah, sure, but I mean, plenty of films from all over the world adapt source material from other countries. I mean, out in cinemas right now is Park Chan-wook's No Other Choice, which is adapted from from an American novel by Donald Westlake. So nevertheless, that film feels very Korean. They've taken the source material and they have given it a twist in order to localize it. Another World is a very well-made movie, and it is quite entertaining. It has a number of sort of twists and turns. The story really does sort of draw you in, leave you guessing, and it is quite shocking at times. And there is a general sense of catharsis, when you finally come to the ending. I should also point out that it is, not wholly suitable for younger viewers. It goes into some very dark, quite grisly territory at times. I just wish there was something about it that made it more obvious that it was from Hong Kong.